Hi guys. So today I'm afraid I can't be with you for a Zoom session because I'm undertaking a very important official oral exams with Year 12. So what I've got is we're going to be building on, now we've looked at different text types and persuasive things that we can do with images and facts and stats and research, which is very important. We need to know how to present our ideas. And so what we're going to be looking at over the next couple of lessons is some language techniques and skills that we can use to really, really persuade our audience that what we're saying is correct and should be followed and listened to. So what we're going to do, first of all today, I'd like you to answer the following questions. And they're just to get us to think about speeches. So what are the objectives of a speech? What does a speaker have to do to reach those objectives? And what challenges might they face? I'm just thinking in very, very general terms. So an objective could be, for example, of a speech could be to raise awareness of something. The speaker has to do to reach these objectives, should be interested and engaging, should be audible. All right, so there's someone that wants to get you started. Challenges they might face, it might be a hostile audience. It might be an audience that they've got to win round, for example. It might be things like their own nerves, all right, that might be, that might be putting them off. So just to think about this in general and just think about perhaps when you've had to give speech in the past, what difficulties and challenges have you come across? So let's answer those questions in our notes, please. Then what I'd like you to do is watch this video on rhetoric. Now, rhetoric is the art of speaking and persuasion through language, okay, and sort of manipulating people with language. Manipulating is probably a harsher word. It's probably more coercing. It's probably harsh as well. And what I'd like you to do, if you click on the actual video on this link, all right, you will see that it pops up in a YouTube video. And if you watch that, it will explain three things to you. And those three things, now to get our Greek words on, Greek vocabulary. The three things are ethos, pathos, and logos. And these are three persuasive approaches. Very general approaches. They're not techniques, really. They're more approaches that are used all the time in persuasive speaking. All right. Politicians use these. Advertisers use these. You will use these with your parents when you're trying to, and guardians when you're trying to get your own way. So I want you to write down a definition, your own words of these three broad approaches to persuasion. All right, ethos, pathos, and logos. All right, ethos looks a bit like the word ethics. Pathos is a bit like feeling sorry for someone, but it's where the word pathetic comes from. For example, it's about pity. And then logos is a bit like logic. All right, so that's how I remember it, and hopefully that will help you remember these things. So I want you to write down your own three definitions from watching that video. When you've done that, the main task today is to watch these three classic films, okay, extracts thereof, they're only short, and there's three speeches. And I want you to decide which one uses which techniques from Aristotle, so which ones use ethos, which ones use pathos, which ones use logos. I want you to tell me what's good about the speeches, and I also want you to tell me what's bad about the speeches. Okay, now to do that, if you just click on the pictures, it will take you to the link. They all work, I've just checked them. And then here's a nice easy table you can copy into your notes. So A Knight's Tale, which techniques does it use? What worked well in that speech? What didn't work so well? Okay, Clueless, logos, pathos, or logos, what worked well, what didn't work so well, and the same for School of Rock. To finish today, because it's only a single lesson, I would like you to tell me what's the most effective speech and why, and I'd like you to write me a short paragraph explaining and justifying your choice. Now, an hour should be enough to do this. I want you to submit your work onto Google Classroom as normal. Next lesson, we will be going through this as a starter, so it needs to be done and done to a good standard so we can build on this for next time, because it's going to get a little bit more complicated next time. All right, so we need to get this nice baseline of understanding down. Okay, now I might not be available as much as I normally am tomorrow because I will be in and out of oral exams all day. I will try and answer emails, but can you please make sure you support and help each other to answer questions? And this video is here to help you. So if you're not sure, you can go back and just look through it. I'll also put the instructions on Google Classroom as well. Okay, so you should have everything you need to be able to do a good job of this. All right. Thank you very much, guys, and I will see you soon.